everybody. It is very exciting to introduce our guest speaker here today. In case anybody has been sleeping the last 3 weeks in the first part of this lunch, Ivy R. Taylor was elected mayor of San Antonio June 13, 2015. Before that, she had been appointed to serve as mayor on July 22nd, 2014 by the City of San Antonio Council to fulfill the unexpired term of Julian Castro. Prior to her appointment, Mayor Ivy Taylor served as a District 2 City Council representative. She was elected to that position on June 13, 2009, and served 2.5 terms for a total of 5 years. Mayor Taylor began her career working for the City of San Antonio in the Housing and Community Development Department and Neighborhood Action Department. While at the city, she worked with various neighborhood associations, developers, and nonprofit organizations in order to facilitate inner-city development. After 6 years, she left employment with the City of San Antonio to become Vice President of Merced Housing, Texas. At Merced, she worked to create and implement programs to improve family stability for apartment community residents. Mayor Ivy Taylor is also currently a lecturer at UTSA and the Public Administrative Department. During her tenure on the City Council and as mayor, she has remained focused on the balanced growth throughout the city and targeted investment in areas where opportunities have been limited. She led the effort to bring over $50 million in federal funding for revitalization of San Antonio's east side. As mayor, she and City Council worked with San Antonio Water Systems to achieve unanimous approval on the Vista Ridge Water Supply Project, which will help ensure water supply for our growing city. Mayor Taylor currently serves on the board for Healthy Futures of Texas and Big Brothers and Sisters of South Texas. She has served on the city's planning commission and as a commissioner for the city's urban renewal agency and on the advisory board of Our Lady of Lakes Center for Women in Church and Society. Mayor Taylor completed the Leadership San Antonio class sponsored by the Greater San Antonio Chamber of Commerce, and in 2004 was acknowledged by the San Antonio Business Journal as a rising star in their 40 under 40 class. In 2008, she completed Bank of America's Neighborhood Excellence Leadership Training Program. Mayor Ivy Taylor obtained her master's degree in City and Regional Planning from the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill in 1998. And before that, in 1992, she received a bachelor's degree from Yale University. Mayor Taylor is a loving wife and a mother, and it gives me great pleasure to introduce our new mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Please take your seats. Well, good afternoon. Thank you so much for this opportunity to address you. Thank you to the North Chamber leadership and staff for organizing this event that allows us the opportunity to talk about the important issues facing our city. Well, when I was elected to serve by my council colleagues as mayor last August, my first speech was to the North Chamber, this very event. So it's fitting that today's luncheon is my first opportunity after being elected as mayor to share my vision for our city. This is, of course, an exciting time for our city, and I'm humbled to have an opportunity to play a part in creating our future. Well, I have to start off by taking a moment to thank my life partner, my wonderful husband, Rodney, who's been by my side for 17 years and who's been tested so much by the past 4 months. Rodney, you, of course, have all my love and respect. And in addition, you may have a little more of my time now since I quit my second job today. So for the first time in 6 years, I'll have just one job. I'm also glad to work with a great team at the city, and so I know my council colleagues have been acknowledged, but I'll ask if you all would stand just one more time so we can thank you for your commitment and your service to our city. Thank you. And in addition, we, of course, have a wonderful city manager. Cheryl, we appreciate your hard work so much, and your staff as well. Now, I know it's been mentioned that today is my birthday. I'm actually 45 years old today. So at the risk of making myself feel even a little bit older, let's think about what our country and our city was like 45 years ago, 1970. Well, the North Tower of the World Trade Center at that time was the tallest building in the world. The Beatles broke up. Some of you are still crying about that. The pocket calculator debuted, as did American Top 40 with Casey Kasem. It would still be several years before the first woman was allowed to run in the Boston Marathon because race organizers thought the course was too strenuous for females. And in 1970, San Antonio had 654,000 residents and was the 15th largest city in the United States. Most of Loop 1604 was still a dotted line on a map, and Mitchell Lake was known as a sewage treatment facility. You could buy a Pearl beer brewed in downtown San Antonio, and our very own San Antonio Spurs were still playing up north in Dallas. And San Antonio City Council members were paid $20 per meeting. Now that's still true, but only for another 2 weeks. So many changes over the decades, and so many of them for the better. And much of that positive change is due to people here in the room. You started businesses, you served our country in uniform, you volunteered, you raised families, you ran for elected office. Your teachers, your doctors, bankers, scientists, and engineers, you have figuratively and literally built this city. From companies as large as H-E-B, USAA, Valero, and CST, to small businesses like NewTek that are opening global markets for our high-tech products, and people like Gregory Hudson at Genesis Concepts and Consultants, who was named Texas Small Business Person of the Year in 2014. You are the force behind our growth, and you're our bright future. San Antonio is a fast-growing, vibrant, progressive city with a storied past and a clear path to continued success. And we're in a great position to tell our story to the rest of the country and the world. In 2 weeks, I'll be traveling to Germany along with Judge Wolf to attend the World Heritage Committee meeting in Bonn, where I hope to be present for the selection of our missions as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. We will celebrate our unique past and mix of cultures again in 2018 with the 300th anniversary of our city's founding. And I recently appointed a Tricentennial Commission to help us to make the most of that occasion. There's so much that makes San Antonio a city that we all love, a city that we invest in, and where we hope our children will find our futures. But most importantly, we are one San Antonio. We recognize that we succeed together and fail alone. Coming off a contentious mayoral campaign, I remain convinced that a genuine commitment to serving our community can transcend all other boundaries, the boundaries that separate us into different political, racial, ethnic, and ideological camps. And focusing on our differences may win us points with our own in-group or circle of friends or supporters, but it doesn't build bridges that we can use to address problems collectively. In thinking about our city's long-term success and how we can work together on tough challenges, I believe that securing our fiscal security is our most important first step. Therefore, we must see a successful conclusion to public safety union negotiations that limits these expenses to 66% of our general fund budget. In order to do this, the police union needs to rejoin the process and address the offer that was left on the table pending the outcome of the municipal elections. The silly season is over. No more distractions or diversions. Time to get back to work. Now, when I spoke at this event last year, union negotiations were indeed the headliner, but in the time that I've served as mayor, we have made progress on a number of other issues that I laid out for you in the speech that I gave last year. It's been mentioned that the City Council unanimously supported the Vista Ridge Water Supply Project to ensure access to an abundant and affordable water supply for our ever-growing city. The City Council recently approved the Western Urban Frost P3 project to provide a significant boost to downtown development and our urban core, including some badly needed Class A office space downtown and a signature building for our skyline. We've also executed an agreement with the state of Texas to collaborate on restoration of the Alamo and reinvention of Alamo Plaza, and secured $31 million in funding from our state for that. We're developing a multimodal transportation plan that's integrated with our SA Tomorrow comprehensive and sustainability planning efforts, because we're not going to ask taxpayers to foot the bill for any more answers until we know what the questions are. At the same time, we're working to find innovative solutions for our most immediate needs. We also passed substantial expansions of the aquifer protection and urban creekway programs, including $10 million that I requested for urban aquifer protection demonstration projects that we can learn from, and $35 million to help create creekways that do for the rest of the city what the Mission and Museum Reaches have done for neighborhoods in our urban core. We created a charter commission to address governance issues that I identified, including city council pay, and on May 9th, voters approved the commission's recommendations, including council pay. This is important because it allows more San Antonians the opportunity to serve the community on the council and allows your representatives to focus on the city's business full-time. I also co-sponsored the City County Public Health and Workforce Development Summits and created the San Antonio Talent for Economic Competitiveness Industry Oversight Board to ensure that our human infrastructure receives the same level of attention as our natural resources and capital infrastructure. We must have a 21st century workforce for a 21st century economy. Under my leadership, we've adopted stricter standards and greater transparency for council aides and council offices. I created the Office of Diversity and Inclusion to help our city government function more efficiently, whether that's in dealing with a discrimination complaint or finding the best contractor for a city opportunity. I held the first housing policy conference in almost a decade so that we could work together as a community to define what we want for our neighborhoods, including downtown and our urban core. We have an unprecedented opportunity to build on the work of that Mayor's Task Force on Dynamic and Diverse Neighborhoods and our current SA Tomorrow comprehensive planning program to create stable, accessible, mixed-use, mixed-income neighborhoods. Now, I know that's planner speak, and my staff always warns me against using planner speak, and it can sound kind of boring. But let's translate that into plain English. Here's the vision. A place where your children can walk safely to school and the corner store, where apartments over the deli may provide a great opportunity for a young couple starting out, and townhomes are available for those who don't want to take care of the yard. A place where sidewalks, paths, and transit allow every San Antonian to be independent. A place where parks and street trees help clean the air, and low-impact development standards help clean our water. In this San Antonio, public health improves dramatically because residents are active every day and compact growth improves air quality. San Antonio will be a place where everyone has access to reliable broadband internet access, and we no longer face a digital divide. We are dedicated to continuing our work with Google Fiber so our businesses and residents can access the highest speed internet in the world. a place where unique neighborhood businesses thrive and entrepreneurs have access to the information and support they need to grow new companies. Imagine a dozen geekdoms throughout town, feeding different industries like architecture, film, and manufacturing. Now imagine that when you leave your neighborhood, you have your choice of express bus, rail, bike path, or driving your car if you like. If you choose not to drive, it's because there's something else that's more convenient. And imagine a network of creeks bordered by trails and connecting neighborhoods throughout our city, north and south, east and west. Everywhere that today you see a concrete drainage ditch, imagine a little slice of the Mission or Museum reach, linking us up and bringing new opportunities. Across the United States and around the world, cities and towns that offer this quality of a life attract new residents and retain the young people who've grown up and been educated there. San Antonio should be a great place to be young and single, with plentiful entry-level jobs and neighborhoods where you can walk home from the corner bar or brew pub. A wonderful place to be a kid or a parent because housing is affordable and mom doesn't have to drive you everywhere. And a perfect place to enjoy active senior years with opportunities for community engagement and necessary services in easy reach. Not to mention that we'll be a good place to be a developer or a banker because the updated community master plan and streamlined policies and regulations make building and lending easier and more predictable. We can do this. It's not a pipe dream. It's within our reach. SA Tomorrow will build on the goals residents established through the SA 2020 process and will align our 2017 bond dollars to make better use of our infrastructure investments. Those of you involved in the SA Tomorrow process know that we're expecting an additional 1 million San Antonians by the year 2040. The choices that those new residents make, the choices that we offer them, will determine the vitality and sustainability of our city. In a sustainable community, we conserve water, protect air quality, provide parks, libraries, and other public goods for all our citizens, and just as importantly, we use our human resources wisely. A key part of our effort to nurture human resources will rely on creating those stable, mixed-income neighborhoods that welcome a wide range of families. More mixed-income neighborhoods spread throughout our city is critical. Compared to more affluent census tracts, poor neighborhoods lack job opportunities, safe places to play, convenient, affordable, and healthy food choices, and quality education options. Divisions within our city by income, class, and race is not just wrong. It perpetuates the need for expensive social services, for remedial education, and even inefficient mass transit. Furthermore, it denies our city the one thing we need most to grow and prosper: engaged, skilled residents. In order to increase the number of San Antonians with skills to connect to our growing economy, I've asked the Alamo Colleges to serve as coordinator for our workforce development and adult education and training efforts in order to ensure that we're responsive to industry and efficient in preparing our residents for the jobs of the 21st century. I believe we can do a better job of determining what skills employers need, sharing that information with folks who may currently be working in low-wage jobs or may be unemployed, and providing training tailored to jobs that are in demand. While economic development can and should include luring high-profile companies to San Antonio, it's also about supporting local business and residents so that they can achieve their full potential. We'll, of course, build on our strengths in sectors where San Antonio is already a clear leader, including the biosciences and healthcare, military, finance, cybersecurity, and global trade. Now, the goals that I just outlined are big, but they are achievable. Just imagine if 20 years ago, someone had told you that San Antonio would be home to a major tech company like Rackspace, or that Toyota would move here, or that the Old Pearl Brewery complex would be revitalized. It may have been hard to picture, but let me tell you, I know firsthand that the impossible is possible. The elusive goals can be achieved, and that no dream is too big and no vision too grand. But we can only do it through working together. And so now is the time to think differently and act together. I'm so excited at the prospects of what we can do to bring our collective vision for our wonderful city to life. We are one San Antonio, so now let's get started. Let's get to work. Thank you.